Have you ever felt like your life is shattered into a million pieces? Like there's no way out, and no matter how hard you try, the weight of it all pulls you down? If that's you right now, I want you to know something incredibly important. Hitting rock bottom isn't the end. In fact, it might just be the greatest turning point of your life. A moment that, although painful, holds the power to transform you in ways you can't yet imagine. Think about it. What if the very thing that feels like it's breaking you is actually preparing you for something extraordinary? What if the struggles you're facing right now are shaping you into the person you were meant to be? Today, I want to take you on a journey into understanding why hitting rock bottom, as painful as it feels, can truly be the greatest gift life gives you. Hitting rock bottom feels like everything is closing in on you. It's a place of loneliness, fear, and sometimes even hopelessness. It can come in many forms: a devastating breakup, the loss of a loved one, financial ruin, or even a deep personal sense of failure. The worst part isn't just the situation itself, it's the feeling that you've lost your sense of direction, your purpose, and even your identity. When you're in that space, it's almost impossible to see anything beyond the pain. You wake up feeling heavy. You move through your day as if the world is in slow motion, and at night, the silence becomes unbearable. You wonder why this is happening to you, why life feels so unfair. You question whether things will ever get better. But here's the thing about rock bottom. It strips away all illusions. It removes everything you thought defined you, your success, your relationships, your comfort zones. And while that might feel unbearable, it's in this raw, vulnerable state that something incredible begins to happen. Part of what makes rock bottom so painful is the loss of control. Life doesn't feel predictable anymore, and as human beings, we crave stability. We like to believe that we're in charge of our destinies, that if we just work hard enough, plan well enough, or love deeply enough, things will go our way. But when you hit rock bottom, that illusion is shattered. You realize that no matter how much you try to control life, some things are simply out of your hands. And that realization? It's terrifying. But it's also a gift in disguise. Because when you let go of the need to control everything, you open yourself up to something far greater. Growth, transformation, and resilience. At first, rock bottom feels like destruction. Everything you knew, everything you relied on, seems to be falling apart. But if you look closer, you'll see that this destruction is actually a clearing, a space being made for something new to grow. When you've lost everything, you're no longer weighed down by expectations, by the pressure to be a certain way, or live a certain kind of life. You're free to rebuild, but this time, you get to do it on your terms. Think about it. When you hit rock bottom, you're forced to confront your deepest fears, your insecurities, and your vulnerabilities. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also an opportunity to rediscover who you truly are. You start to see what matters most to you, not what society says you should value, not what others expect of you, but what truly makes you feel alive. Imagine a seed buried deep underground. To that seed, it might feel like it's been swallowed by darkness, like it's trapped with no way out. But in reality, that darkness is where growth begins. The pressure of the soil, the lack of light, all of it is necessary for the seed to break open and grow roots. And once it pushes through the dirt, it finally reaches the surface where it can bloom. The same thing happens to us when we hit rock bottom. It's in that darkness that we start to grow. We learn to let go of what no longer serves us. We develop resilience, strength, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. We discover that we're capable of enduring far more than we ever thought possible. I know it doesn't feel like a gift right now. It feels like the opposite. But trust me, there's a version of you waiting on the other side of this pain, a version that's wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. There comes a moment, even in the depths of rock bottom, when something shifts. It might be subtle at first, a flicker of hope, a small realization, or even just the decision to take one tiny step forward. But that moment? That's the turning point. When you decide to stop fighting the situation and start accepting it, you take back your power. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means acknowledging where you are without judgment. It means saying to yourself, "This is my reality right now, but it doesn't define me. I have the power to change." And from that moment of acceptance, you begin to rebuild. One day at a time, one step at a time. You start to see opportunities where there once were only obstacles. You begin to appreciate the strength you've gained from enduring the storm. When we talk about rock bottom as a gift, it's important to understand that the gift doesn't come wrapped in ribbons. It often feels like the opposite, a curse, a punishment, or even an unbearable weight. But beneath the pain, beneath the struggle, there's something powerful happening. A transformation that can only occur when everything else has been stripped away. Rock bottom forces you to confront the truth about yourself and your life. It's a mirror that doesn't lie. When you're at your lowest point, you're no longer able to hide behind excuses, distractions, or superficial comforts. The truth comes into sharp focus about what really matters to you, what you've been running from, and who you want to become. This level of honesty can be terrifying. It's not easy to face your flaws, your failures, or the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. But it's also liberating, because once you see yourself clearly, you have the power to change. And that's where the gift lies, in the opportunity to rebuild, to grow, and to become someone who is stronger, wiser, and more authentic. One of the most profound gifts of hitting rock bottom is clarity. When life is going well, it's easy to get caught up in things that don't truly matter, chasing success, seeking validation from others, or clinging to relationships that aren't healthy. But when everything falls apart, those distractions are stripped away, leaving you with a raw, unfiltered view of what's truly important. At rock bottom, you begin to ask questions you might never have considered before. What do I truly value in life? Who am I when everything else is taken away? What kind of person do I want to become moving forward? This clarity allows you to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Maybe it's a toxic relationship, a draining job, or a lifestyle that's been keeping you stuck. Whatever it is, rock bottom gives you the courage to release it because you've already survived losing so much. Strength is not something you're born with. It's something you develop through adversity. And there's no greater teacher of strength than hitting rock bottom. When you face the worst that life can throw at you and you're still standing, you realize just how resilient you are. Think about it. Every time you've overcome a challenge in the past, you've built a little more strength. Maybe you didn't notice it at the time, but those small victories added up. And when you hit rock bottom, all that strength comes to the surface. It's what allows you to keep going, even when it feels impossible. But the strength you gain at rock bottom is different. It's not just physical or mental. It's a deep, unshakable inner strength. It's the kind of strength that says, "I've been through hell and I'm still here. I can handle whatever comes next." This strength doesn't just help you survive. It helps you thrive. It gives you the confidence to take risks, to face your fears, and to pursue your dreams with a sense of purpose and determination. Gratitude might seem like the last thing you'd feel at rock bottom. After all, what is there to be grateful for when everything feels like it's falling apart? But as strange as it sounds, gratitude often grows in the darkest moments. When you've lost everything, you begin to appreciate the small things, the things you might have taken for granted before. A kind word from a friend, a moment of peace, the warmth of the sun on your skin. These small blessings become treasures, reminding you that even in the midst of pain, there is beauty to be found. Gratitude also shifts your perspective. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, you begin to see what you've gained: strength, clarity, and the opportunity to start anew. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but when it does, it's incredibly powerful. Gratitude transforms your pain into purpose, your loss into lessons, and your struggles into stepping stones. Rock bottom strips away the masks we wear. It forces us to confront who we really are, without the filters of success, status, or external validation. And while that might feel uncomfortable, it's also a chance to rediscover your true self. When you're no longer trying to meet others' expectations or chase superficial goals, you can start living in alignment with your own values. You begin to make choices that reflect who you truly are rather than who you think you're supposed to be. This authenticity is incredibly freeing. It allows you to build a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling rather than one that simply looks good from the outside. It also deepens your connections with others, because when you're authentic, you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are. Many people find their purpose at rock bottom. Why? Because it's often in our darkest moments that we begin to ask the big questions. Why am I here? What do I want to contribute to the world? How can I use my experiences to help others? Hitting rock bottom gives you a unique perspective. It allows you to see life through a lens of empathy and compassion because you've been there. You've felt the pain, the fear, and the struggle. And that perspective can inspire you to make a difference, whether it's through your work, your relationships, or simply the way you live your life. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It could be as simple as being kind, supporting others who are struggling, or living a life that inspires those around you. Whatever it is, rock bottom often acts as a catalyst for discovering it. Finally, hitting rock bottom teaches you resilience. It shows you that no matter how hard life gets, you have the strength to keep going. It proves that even when you're knocked down, you can rise again. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. It's about using your struggles as fuel for growth and transformation. And once you've built that resilience, it stays with you for life. When future challenges arise, and they will, you'll face them with a sense of confidence and calm. You'll know that you've survived worse, and you'll trust in your ability to overcome whatever comes your way. So, why is hitting rock bottom a gift? Because it's a place of transformation, a space where the old falls away to make room for the new. It's where you discover your strength, your purpose, and your true self. It's where you learn to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace what truly matters. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's hard. But on the other side of that pain is a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. And that is the greatest gift of all. If you're watching this and you feel like you've hit rock bottom, I want you to know that you're not alone. And more importantly, I want you to know that this is not the end of your story. This is just a chapter, a painful chapter, yes, but also a transformative one. One day, you'll look back on this moment and realize it was the turning point that led you to a life you never imagined. You'll see that the pain you felt, the struggles you endured, were all part of your journey to becoming the person you were meant to be. So hold on, keep going. Trust that this darkness is temporary and that the light is waiting for you on the other side. And when you get there, you'll see that hitting rock bottom wasn't the end. It was the greatest gift life could give you. Thank you for watching. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to share it with someone who might need to hear it. Together, we rise.